Hello and welcome back. We are about to dive into the first day of our Welcomestaking event, which we're calling the Welcomestaking Day Parade. But before we get into that, as always, we're just going to take a brief moment and introduce our heroes. And today, as I'm introducing you, I have a question for sort of all of you. Do you celebrate Welcomestaking? And I'll first ask that to you, like Callie. But before you answer it, tell me a little bit about yourself, like Callie.
Hi Pete, I'm back.
How have you been? It's been a while.
Well, I wanted to go on vacation, but then I had to finish up a semester at school because they're just they keep on saying I failed. I mean, a 65 isn't failing.
By what metric could they possibly have said that you failed? That's more than half right.
I know, right?
That's the majority's right. That's absolutely outrageous.
It really is. I don't know what their problem is, but supposedly I passed this time. I hope.
Now, do you celebrate Welcomestaking, Kelly?
Well, yeah, I go around
grabbing stuff.
Just I'm supposed to be good, but free stuff. It's part of the law. It's not stealing, technically.
No, it's totally fine in this world. So you're good. It's just, if that's how you celebrate Welcomestaking, then that's how you do it. That's totally okay, Callie. You got nothing to be secretive about there.
Well, yeah, I take because there are so many people that are putting out food to try and distract other people, and people go over to their houses and grab the food, and then I go to their houses and I grab their stuff.
Maybe there's a line somewhere, but we'll have to worry about where that's drawn another time. Callie, welcome back.
Thanks, Pete.
Next up, we have another returning hero, the Water Genasi Druid. We have Mochalatte Bonka.
Hello, and I thought I made it clear before I'm half married, but oh well.
My dearest apologies, Mocha. So Mocha, how are you? How have you been?
I'm doing good. I got myself a new puppy. It's a lollipop.
Really? Oh yes, of course. The lollipop of the Candy Kingdom. I believe they're fairly common out there. How are things going with your kind of family's candy business?
Oh, it's doing great, especially on this day, since it actually brings out a lot of promotion.
Yes,
I would say my dad usually handles all this, but Dum Dum, my lollipop, ate his legs a few days ago.
He ate his legs.
Yeah, his legs were newly formed, and Dum Dum decided they looked really good, and he grabbed both their legs and ate them.
Is your father going to be okay?
Yeah, he's currently going around, being pushed around in a wheelchair of some sort, or whatever those things are called, by my mama.
Well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that everything's going to be all right. And Mochalatte, you mentioned that business is good this kind of season. How do you celebrate Welcomestaking?
Oh, it's easy. I go around with lots of candy, pass them out to the little kids to get them ready for the big seasons coming up.
Very good, Mochalatte. I imagine business is a little bit tricky when people are allowed to just take things off your tables. You have to probably rest things on chairs and stuff like that to make sure that they still get sold.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, this is good for the promotion for the business, so I was good on this day.
Well, welcome back, Mocha. Good to have you again.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a veteran player, but a brand new character here in the Land of DnDTime. And I apologize if I don't pronounce your name correctly. I believe it is Rivi, aka Shoot, and Stab. Am I correct?
Yes!
Rivi.
You're very correct.
Rivi, tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome to the Lands of DnDTime, for one thing, but and of course the ranks of Bartholomew's adventuring troupe. But who are you? What brings you here?
Well, it's strange to ask. I'm actually the greatest hero in all of DnDTime. You know why?
No, I don't. Please enlighten.
Because I am the coolest one here.
The number one coolest one here?
Yes, I have a bow and I have a sword, and I'm going to shoot and stab bad guys. See, it's in the name.
Um, Now, by what metric have you been like voted in some way the coolest one, or is it just kind of generally agreed
I mean, I
upon?
think it's just implied, like,
Okay.
because I'm like, I have scales and teeth and claws and a bow that's like half my size, twice my size. I mean, so
So as you're just kind of walking down the street, you know very confidently that you are the coolest adventurer.
oh yeah,
amongst them.
definitely. I mean, size doesn't matter. That's why I can just go under people and stab them.
And you mentioned that you have a bow and you stab people.
I both shoot and stab. Very important.
Do you
And stab
think
was
these,
my mother's name actually. My father had a much lamer last name, so I just took my mom's last name.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, my dad was a
curiosity, though.
smith. That's just so lame.
Rivi shoot Smith doesn't sound quite the same, does it? But Rivi, do you think any of these kind of stabbing and shooting skills will in particularly help you here on Welcomestaking to maybe get some of the better food and loot?
I mean, I'm not really concerned about taking things. More like just, I just want to be a hero. I want to keep people safe. I want to impress people.
Amenable. I really respect your desire to just kind of do good, it sounds like, in the world. It's very rare, surprisingly, amongst Bartholomew's groups of heroes.
I mean, what else are we joining a group of heroes for? It's literally called heroes.
I really like that outlook, Rivi, and welcome to the group. It's good to have you tonight. And last but not least, we have returning Sir Gillem Fish. Welcome, Sir Gillem.
Hello.
Sir Gillem, how have you been since last we spoke?
Not too bad.
And of course, how is your companion?
Oh, House. He's okay. He's
He seems like you. I don't know if you cut off or trailed off, but after he's. But so Sir Gillem, for anyone who's not familiar, could you remind them? You of course are a clownfish, yes?
Yep, I sure am.
And House is the individual whose hair that you reside in.
Yep, sure is.
Sir Gillem, how have you and House kind of? It seems like you very much kind of call a lot of the shots in the relationship between you and House, if that's fair of me to say.
It sure is.
How did you get into this sort of situation between the two of you? How did this kind of come about?
Well, he had a fishing. He has a fishing tackle, and he caught me one day and threw me in his hair. Now I've been stuck.
Well, it seems, Sir Gillem, that you've really made the most of what is probably a very terrifying situation at first.
Oh, it absolutely was.
Mm-hmm. And Sir Gillem, do you celebrate Welcomestaking?
No, I sure don't.
Well, that is the context in which you're going to be thrust today. So you might have to, you may be running to catch up a little bit with some of these traditions, but I'm sure you won't have too much difficulty, Sir Gillem. Welcome back.
I'm very familiar with the traditions. The issue is everything that House grabs, he just sticks it in his mouth.
Oh, so you just don't really have the option to celebrate. Less of a lack of desire and more of a lack of ability.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Sir Gillem, I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope that maybe today House will see to it some of it makes it into your mouth as well. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, let us, without further ado, begin. Where you find yourselves is among the streets of Buckler's Bay. Buckler's Bay is one of the rowdier cities that exists along the Crimson Coast. It's a place where pirates and thieves and brigands and various other ne'er-do-wells kind of make a home and kind of sail out to port from here. It's on a regular day, a non-festival day, walking through Buckler's Bay, you're liable to find that the majority of people on the streets are at least a little bit intoxicated and are traveling to or from a tavern at any given moment. Today on Welcomestaking, however, as you walk around the streets, you'll find that almost every single person, man, woman, and child, is very much in the bag, all out on the sides of the street. There are tables in front of each building where all of the various kind of citizens of this town They are all pretty kind of rough and tumble. A lot of beards, a lot of peg legs, a lot of eye patches as you're walking around the space. It's definitely a pirate town. Parrots on quite a few shoulders. And in front of each of their houses, you can see tables lined out with feasts of various kinds. And you find that most of these feasts are liquid. People just kind of walking around from tables, pulling out a huge jug of ale off of one and downing it, putting it back down. Everyone's property is everyone's really on Welcomestaking, and that carnival atmosphere has really kind of spilled over. Butler's Bay is probably a little bit more extreme of a Welcomestaking celebration than most people would enjoy. I don't know how the four of you might find it, but it's a little bit sloppy here. And one of the individuals that's the most sloppy is a man by the name of Captain Bootleg, who you stand in front of. This is an individual that you've been sent here to guard, as he's going to be operating a float here in Butler's Bay, and he apparently has a few enemies that he's worried might come after him during the big Welcomestaking parade. And that individual addresses all of you now, where we begin our adventure officially. He looks at you and just... Greetings, friends. You are the bodyguards for me, yes?
Like, 1 second. Woohoo! Buckler's Bay. I haven't been here since, like, spring break.
I haven't been here since, never. Never been here.
Yes,
it's a to explore.
It's quite a town. I like it here very much. He pulls back kind of... It looks like just a barrel with a handle on the side of it, like a full keg, that he kind of throws backwards into his kind of open gullet. He's staggering a little bit, but he drinks alcohol with seemingly an endless quantity, drinking it almost as if it were water.
You just gonna drink it in front of me? Give me some.
You're welcome to it. You got the right mind for the party, huh? Happy Welcomestaking to you. He hands you the big kind of barrel as you grab it. You feel it. Whoa, it's very heavy. This individual is fairly strong.
How big is this bootleg fella?
He's not actually very big. He's shaped a lot like a dwarf, but he's very clearly human, and he's very round, and on his right leg he has a peg leg with a very big kind of yellow boot, almost like kind of a fisherman's bright yellow, or like a rain boot on his right foot.
Oh wait, is the peg leg on his left or on his right?
Did I say right? The peg leg is on his left, and the boot is also on that leg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mochalatte is probably looking at that like in a weird, like inquisitive like a way. How'd you lose your leg there?
Oh, that'd be a great question, my. What are you, little thing? Some kind of water spirit?
I'll accept that.
Very well. You see, long ago, takes another swig, I lost this leg battling a great white whale. And he kind of points over at the float that he's going to be riding in the parade, and you see that the float, it appears to be a whale that's kind of part undead, and you are, of course, familiar with legends of the white whales. They are whites they are whales that have been turned into undead whites. And you see, for many years after it took my leg, I hunted it, and then finally, after quite a long time, well, I reclaimed it on my own, and completely, entirely on my lonesome, I set to the seas, went out, a single ship in hand, and battled it with only my harpoon, and he pulls off of his back like a broken wooden harpoon, and my pirate entrepreneurial spirit, and the desire for adventure and so on, and what have you. You know how it is. And so, I become a bit of a local legend around here, and, well, they had me go out on a float so everyone can cheer for me and throw me gifts as I move through the town.
Okay.
I never thought I'd be working for you, the worst pirate of the never seas.
Hey, that's rude. Don't be rude to people.
No,
that's rude.
Listen to your friend. He's got some sense. What did you say your name was? Points at you.
I'm really.
Sir Gillem. Sir Gillem.
Wait,
no, I wasn't talking to the fish. I was talking to the one with some sense that knows what he's talking about. I was talking about the one that knows that I'm an incredible pirate, not the one that insulted me.
Wait, me having sense? That's a compliment. Thank you.
But of course, I think we could be very good friends. You, on the other hand, Mr. Fish, you best watch where you're going, or you'll taste it. You'll taste the harpoon too. I'm not gonna hurt you. I wouldn't hurt a fly if I'm being completely honest.
That's
but-
why you didn't kill that whale, huh?
Oh,
That's right. I'm calling your bluff.
I see how it is. That whale took my leg. It was sort of a revenge thing. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Like, I don't know about tasting a harpoon, but I'd like to taste some more of that kraken.
Yeah, he's definitely his story has changed a couple of times already in the kind of moments that he's been speaking about it. There's definitely some exaggeration at minimum going on here. You can tell, Sir Gillem, and there's a little bit more of the kraken. Oh yes, you're talking about the bottle of rum, and he pulls off of his side a huge jug of black rum, which he wasn't even drinking, but you spotted, and hands it over to you, kind of. You can keep that one. I got 3 more. He turns around, and they're kind of strapped to his back, almost on like a bandolier. So the parade's actually already going. Should we kind of just slide right into it?
Sure.
Let's go.
Sure.
Let's go.
Yeah, Mochalatte will most likely try to get on like the lowest part of the float and like watch from behind.
As long as, like, we can walk along so that I can reach the tables, we're fine.
You can walk if you want. I'm gonna ride, and then people will give us stuff, probably, because I'm a hero. You know how it is? Now, I will say this. There are some people around the town who thinks that my tales may be a bit exaggerated, a bit embellished, and they don't like the attention that I get. So some of them may be coming after me. I would like it if you could maybe, well, that's why I hired you. You know how to bodyguard, don't you?
I
Don't
can
you?
fight people.
I mean,
that,
I know how to
difference.
shoot bad guys, if that's what you're asking.
Very good. So then anyone who doesn't like me is a bad guy, and see that this body is properly guarded, or yes.
I mean, anyone wants to ventilate a float's probably a bad person, Floats are great.
Agreed. You're very, very amenable. Very amenable. You're a fish. Don't make me bring out my harpoon. He takes another chug and hops on the float, which again is in the shape of a big whale, and begins kind of pulling it into the row of floats that's moving by. And this parade is very, very elaborate. As it's kind of weaving down the streets. Like I said, on either side of the street, there are kind of people drinking and laughing. There are tables all lined out with various food. You can see that kind of amidst the parade, there are a number of like very big balloons that sort of wizards and the like are kind of inflating consistently by throwing gust cantrips upwards. It's kind of an essential cantrip for sailors around the realm of Buckler's Bay to kind of keep sails inflated. And they're kind of keeping these beautiful big balloons inflated as well. And all of them are various kind of symbols of the kind of Welcomestaking season. You see sort of big turkeys being inflated, big, cornucopias of food, like pirates and various characters from around the Land of DnDTime. You see a big Bartholomew one kind of floating a little bit farther off in the distance. You can hear the sounds of music as people are kind of playing instruments, and kind of walking bands of slightly drunken drummers are kind of playing out of time in various points. And you kind of begin the parade. What are you guys doing as this parade is starting?
I'm sitting on the back of the float, like kind of keeping an eye out for people who may be bad guys by his definition. And I'm also like tossing out ragamuffin bars to like the people around.
Very good, very good. You're tossing out candy bars. People are tossing back at you, kind of like full glasses of mead, which mostly just kind of clatter on the float and spill unless you decide to catch them.
Yeah, I think Mochalatte being still a little girl, she'll try to catch one and like try.
Very good, very good. Yeah, you do so. It's trivial to do so. What's everyone else doing as the float kind of?
Rivi tries to catch one of the glasses of mead, but it just kind of hits his face, and he's like, ah!
You take 1 point of psychic damage, which is healed
1 point of psychic damage from my disappointment in myself.
which is healed when you eventually drink the delicious ale. But
There you go.
House doesn't really get it, and so he's throwing his net on people as he's talking.
Throw the net.
Oh, yeah. People don't really care as he does this. Like, the net lands on them, and they're a little bit too in the bag to notice anything. And they're just like, funny net.
I think they're in like the jungle gym. They're trying to climb the net.
Yeah, they're just like trying to like get it off of themselves, but they're like not doing a very good job of it, as you've definitely captured a couple of people. But the float kind of continues to move on. Pulled by a single oxen. What about, like, Callie?
Like, Callie is, like, walking along with the float, grabbing drinks from the table. She's, like, getting her fill. And she's like, she knows how to guard her booty. She's been to parties before.
Oh, yeah. Callie's, living the party lifestyle. And as you're kind of continuing along the journey, you see that Captain Bootleg is kind of sitting on top of the big white whale, waving, and people are actually, seem to very much recognize him and, appreciate his presence here and are throwing him all kinds of stuff. Some of them are throwing him even gold pieces and stuff, as he's, occasionally will take his harpoon and imitate, like, stabbing it down into the whale float. It's just kind of generally posturing. And as this is all going on, you see the big kind of balloon of Bartholomew, which is above you. There's so many of these balloons up in the sky; they're almost making like a canopy over the street and the whole town of Buckler's Bay. But you see like one of the wizards that's been kind of inflating the balloon. He's like everyone here in a bit of a stupor, and you see he just kind of all of a sudden just looks to get distracted and walks over to a table and goes to grab at a big kind of pie that he sees just sitting on it and just kind of starts diving into it, and the balloon starts to deflate. This thing is massive and it's starting to head straight down into the float that you're all on. What do you do?
Yeah.
You can see some of the people on either side holding the ropes of it are starting to like struggle. One of them, once it becomes a little bit too much, just kind of lets go, and the balloon's starting to go absolutely wild. Looks like it'll do some serious damage. These things are huge.
You said it's head towards the float?
Yeah, it's heading towards the float that you're all on right now. This is right in front of you.
I do have one question. Would the giant balloon be considered a construct?
No, it's not a sentient thing. It's just a balloon.
I'm gonna like try to go to that guy and like eat the pie so that he'll stop being distracted.
all right. Like Callie, you run over and go to eat the pie. I assume that Sir Gillem, that trident throw is at the balloon. You're throwing it upwards at the balloon.
Yeah.
All right. A 9. You fly up. I mean, it's massive and inflatable. It definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that. All right, yeah, 6 piercing damage. Yeah, you float the trident, flying it high up into the air. It strikes into the balloon, and you hear the kind of telltale as more air is kind of rushing out of it, and it's now kind of flying a little bit more chaotically, and it's kind of actually falling a little bit faster now, although it won't be kind of as big when it gets there. It's just just kind of the bulk of it. Like, Callie, I'd like you to go ahead and make me a Constitution check to see how much quickly you're able to kind of scoff down the pie this guy got distracted by. Just, like, Callie, you've had a lot to drink already today, and just kind of barreling down a whole pie is a little bit much, and so you take a few bites and eat a couple of pieces of it and find
like it's supposed to stay down, not come up. Like,
what about Mocha and Rivi? What are you guys doing?
I'm going to save the day by trying to keep the rope in balance check.
Right, you're going to go and kind of grab the rope. All right. You run over and grab the rope. The ropes are kind of whipping and tangling around. The one that the person let go of is kind of lashing as the balloon flies around with the air let out of it. I'd like you to make me a strength check to try and kind of hold comfortably onto it.
Not a strength isn't good for me. Oh no.
Yeah, this is strength. Oh, nice roll though. You grab it and you kind of dig your feet into a little chunk of the pavement. Your kind of kobold claws letting you lock a little bit into the ground, and you hold on to it, and you find that with your added support, some of the more experienced balloonmen are able to grasp it a little bit firmer, and it's now staying up. What about you, Mocha? It's not staying up, but it's a little bit more controlled. You think you can kind of like drag it away? I might need like one last push though.
All right, so I'm trying to think. Would the balloon be within 15 feet cube of me?
The balloon, it's a little bit higher than that above you, unfortunately, at the moment. Although it's coming down, you could wait for the moment that it is.
Yeah, I want to try to like wait for it to come down just a little bit more, and then using like she's gonna like be kind of upset and just scream at it, and using her shout of the heiress. Wait.
Front page. Gotta do the front page roll. Okay, so Thunderwave. Yeah, actually, there's not even any roll for this. You kind of wait with the extra control that was kind of added. It falls down a little bit quicker, and then the kind of extra control that was added by Rivi's grabbing onto the rope. As it lands down at a reasonable pace, you just thunderwave upwards, and with this huge force, you watch as the balloon kind of floats upwards and a little bit off the side of the street, and then as it kind of slowly finishes off deflating, it does so on top of the roof of a nearby building. It's going to be a huge pain in the ass for somebody else, but your float is able to proceed without too much other difficulty. What are all of your passive perceptions?
Mine is 14.
14 currently.
13.
Like 14.
Yeah, Rivi has good scores in everything but strength. That's a 6.
Wait, what did you say yours was again, Callie?
14.
14. Callie, as you're kind of like crushing the pie, and amidst this chaos, you kind of see among the space, while people are kind of like screaming and trying to get out of the way of this balloon that was going to be pretty dangerous, you can see an individual kind of creeping up onto the float. They look kind of like, they look very piratey, and they have, the big kind of tri-corner cap, and they're kind of holding a sword out and going up to kind of sneak up to where Captain Bootleg is on the float with their sword at their side. They look like they're just going up to stab this dude. You're the only one that's noticed this, and this is still kind of amidst the chaos of the balloon. Like Mocha.
Who's noticed this?
Only Callie. Unless you didn't have a 14, did you?
I have a 14.
Oh, you also noticed this, actually.
I want to ask. I was still on the float when I did the thunder shout. So.
Yeah, this individual used an ability to like hide though, or they they
okay.
made a stealth check.
It basically got around on the side of the float.
Yeah, so right now you're distracted, kind of shooting the balloon up on top of the roof. Callie and but
Like, this
Callie and
pie
Rivi.
isn't finished. I'm gonna, like, throw it at him.
Just alright, go ahead and make me an attack roll. It's gonna be a strength-based attack roll. Or I'll let you do strength or dex, you can pick. Pie's pretty light.
Yeah, that'd be one heavy pie.
Well, usually like more blunt stuff is pie, but
I'm guessing I'm, like,
I
not
feel like
proficient in it.
More like
what's-
aiming it.
Cleric, are you proficient in martial weapons? If you're
No.
proficient- okay, yeah, then I would say you're not proficient in this. 18 definitely still hits, though. You toss the pie kind of across the space and slam this dude right in the face, right as he's kind of about to go up and stab into your your meal ticket in this case, the person you're meant to bodyguard.
Captain, we have enemies boarding!
And as you say that, the pie kind of hits, he turns around, and he goes, "Pirates on the starboard bow! Or the port bow, I can't remember. I've had too much." And he looks around kind of shocked and begins kind of kicking at him with his wooden peg leg. The other person who's able to act in this round is Rivi. What do you do, Rivi? You also have an action here. This is like a surprise round.
Rivi goes into fucking dead serious mode and shoots at the guy with the longbow.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack. 13 just misses, unfortunately.
Damn it!
The arrow flies and strikes into the wooden building on the side. I'd like everyone at this point to roll for initiative, and they are going to take a turn as well. And they go up and go to stab into... they go up and go to stab into Captain Bootleg, but because of the pie in their face, they will have disadvantage on that.
Critical hit. Well, I guess can't really get critical hits on rolling initiative, but
a critical hit is you could call it a critical hit. Yeah, and they critically
a critical
fail,
action.
with the pie in their face. They're just kind of just swinging blindly at Captain Bootleg, they completely whiff. As they're also going to roll initiative, and the turn first belongs, of course, to you, Rivi, once again. You bound instantly into action, and then it is going to be after that. For starters, Rivi, go ahead.
Okay, so just for rules clarification, the captain counts as my ally, correct? He's right at the captain, right?
Yeah.
And the captain count my ally?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, so I'm going to get the power of teamwork, and I'm going to make a bow attack against the guy with advantage.
Oh, wonderful. Go ahead and making that attack roll. Oh, well...
Suck arrow fun!
At the same time, you're actually... I forgot that you were a kobold, so you're also out in the sunlight, though. It is sunny here in Buckham. Actually, you know what? I'll give you a break on the sunlight sensitivity, because there's the canopy of balloons up above that's protecting from it, so you'll just have advantage.
Yeah, I thought only like direct sunlight. Like when it's like really, like actually shining in your face.
If you're outside in the daytime generally, but this is like a weird circumstance.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like it was just like shining in your face. Okay, yeah. Yes!
Yeah, 19 absolutely hit. Roll damage on that. 10 points of piercing damage. You fire an arrow into this individual. You see it kind of strikes right above their kind of midsection. You think you are very close to the heart, but you didn't quite get it. They're still kicking around, but they did not like it.
Hey, you better stop that!
In that case, that's going to bring us to like Kelly. Go ahead.
Like, I'm gonna like go up to him and just like grab his leg and pull him off the float.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and make me an athletics check. That'll be contested by his acrobatics, which he fails absolutely. You kind of grapple him. Moving to him and grappling him is probably all you have, since you weren't on the float, you were a little bit off to the side, but you're ready to kind of drag him away on your next turn. In that case, that's going to bring us next to Mochalatte. Oh, sorry, bonus action?
No.
All right, Mochalatte.
Okay, so Mochalatte, seeing this bad guy now being pulled off, I'm assuming, she is going to try to pretty much change. So she's going to go from her cute little half-narrated self to that of a large Gelatora, which is a candy tiger. So, yeah, wild shape, combat wild shape. As a bonus action, I should say.
All right, radical. What are you becoming?
A Gelatora, which is basically a candy tiger.
Okay, yeah. You watch as Mochalatte suddenly her body transforms into the form of a ferocious-looking candied tiger, and you still have an action. What do you do?
Let's see. How far away am I from the person per se?
You're close enough to get up and attack if you want to.
I mean, like, am I at least 20 feet?
You're on the float, so you're like 10 feet away.
Alright, in that case, I'm just gonna go up to him and bite.
13 unfortunately misses. As you go and bite down on the, oh man, that would have been a lot of damage too. But yeah, the bite kind of just misses. As
Okay,
kind
that
of
would have
rakes
max
aside.
damage too if I'm hit.
Yeah, anything else on your turn?
I don't think there's anything else I can do, so... Yeah,
all right, that's going to be this individual's turn. They're gonna whip around. They kind of wipe the pie off their face, and they're gonna go and kind of whip around, try and stab you, Callie, who's holding on to them. That's a 12.
Like, nah.
Not even close. They go and kind of stab into you. Just you wear armor, yes?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, just harmlessly kind of dinks off your armor, and that's all they can do. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They can do that one more time. They're gonna attack again. 23.
Like, ow.
I need to make me a Constitution saving throw. You don't automatically take that poison. 15. You take half of that poison damage, instead taking a total of 13 damage, though. Still pretty significant.
Oh, like, that really, like, hurt.
Yeah, you feel the kind of the poison from the wound, and you hear kind of Captain Bootleg go, "Look out for his blade! It be poisonous!" as you're feeling the poison already rushing through your system, and this individual's kind of struggling to get out of your grasp, and you see they have kind of wooden teeth, and they're yelling at the captain. They're kind of yelling out at the captain. You there, blackguard, chicanerous mountebank, fool! And he's kind of like angrily glaring at Captain Bootleg, who's safely away from him as he's currently being held back by Callie. That is going to then bring us to Sir Gillem. What do you wish to do?
Thanks for the statement, at Captain Obvious. By the way, you wouldn't know Bao if your life depended on it. House enters into a rage. And now I'm going to attempt to push him off of the
You're just gonna try and like make a shove attack.
Yep.
So that's gonna be an athletics check rather than an attack roll.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Which you have advantage on. Yeah, so you kind of reach out, and Callie, who's also kind of holding on to, you kind of duck nimbly, but the two of you are now off the float as you toss him down onto the ground. Callie, you maintain your feet. He kind of awkwardly, like, slams and bangs his legs at a weird angle onto the ground of the float. You're still kind of holding on to him, Callie, but he's, like, half on the ground. He's in a really awkward pose right now. Anything else on your turn, Sir Gillem?
No, that should be it.
That's going to bring us then to the top of the initiative. That's gonna be... That was Rivi. What do you want to do, Rivi?
Alright, now it's time to stab! He runs up, he jumps like... He's a fast little thing, so he just runs up, jumps onto the float. He just goes to fucking...
You've shot, now you must stab.
Yeah, he jumps up and just fucking stabs down at the
Alright,
guy. Pack tactics right here?
Yep.
Counter next to them? Okay. Pack tactics are amazing. I love pack tactics.
Pack tactics were really good.
That's a crit.
Critical 25 does in fact hit. Roll damage on that. And as you kind of stab down into him, he's kind of like, reaching out and pointing at Bootleg, just going, "He's a liar! A liar!" As you
non-lethal though, right? Because you can shoot after you do the damage.
Well, he's still up.
Oh, he's still up. Okay.
Yep.
I thought I got him with that.
No, not quite. He's still barely hanging on. Anything else on your turn?
I don't think I made bonus action. I think I'm going. How much my movement did I usually get up there?
I mean, only a little bit, but you're also next to him, so you
Yeah.
can provoke an opportunity attack if you stepped away.
Since it's still in the 5-foot square, I'm gonna move next to Callie.
All right, yeah, you just kind of position yourself.
Yeah, I'm
so
still in
you're
the 5-foot square though.
Side by side with Callie. And Callie, it's your turn. What do you do?
So, like, is he on, like, the ground?
He's kind of like half on the ground. Yeah, I would say he's prone. You're kind of like, if you let go of him, he'll be prone.
I'm gonna, like, let go of him,
Yeah, he
Grab out.
slumps down on the ground.
grab out the, like, mug that I've been drinking out of, and just, like, hammer his head with it.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. With advantage. Oh no, the double crit fail! As you kind of go to slam down on him with the mug that you're drinking out
I
of.
was gonna, like, slam it down on him, but then I had to drink it first.
Why do you have
well-
advantage for?
I can't let it go to waste.
Well, you had advantage because the enemy was prone, but
Oh, prone. Okay, I thought like pack tactics. Like I'm about to sit and triggering our people.
you decide to take a round to drink instead. Do you want to move or stay where you are?
Well, like, moving probably wouldn't be the smartest thing, so...
Yeah, fair enough. In that case, that's going to bring us to Mocha. What do you want to do, Mocha? He's on the ground. He's very near dead.
And I'm currently still on the float when I try to bite him, so I'm gonna stay. I'm actually gonna hold my action on the float. And like, if anyone else tries to come up, I'm gonna just nom.
All right. In that case, you remain as a tiger on the float, kind of standing by Captain Bootleg, who kind of looks over at you, and he goes, "Is it all right if I pet you on the head there? I've never seen a tiger in real life." Oh.
Yeah, as a tiger, I kind of like nod a little bit because I'm pretty much made in a way look like ice cream. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ice cream tiger.
He goes and
Oh my
puts your hand,
God.
and his hand comes back covered in ice cream. He's like, "Oh, so,
To be fair, it's more covered in gelato, but it's just like ice cream.
sorry, sorry about
Italian.
that. I don't know what that is." And it's going to be Foturn, who's going to whip around and try and stab at you, who just almost killed him with that jumping strike. He's got 2 attacks. Oh God, that's a 17 against you, Rivi.
My fault.
I assume that hits.
Yep. I've been up. That's not favorable. He just kind of falls over.
Con save.
Con save for the poison.
You can take half on the poison, which would you still be alive?
That would still bring me down, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so yeah, you go down, and then he's still got an attack left, which is going to send over at you, Callie. I'm sorry, you should have had disadvantage on that attack. So the 21 would still have hit. So the first one attacks, but now he'll attack Callie as well with disadvantage. 5 critical miss. The sword kind of flies over to the side, and he is prone on the ground. So Gillem. Or house, I think, is more accurate here.
Hey, I'm kind of bleeding out here. Mind helping?
This thing is on death's door. This guy is.
Mm-hmm.
21. He throws the net. 21, I mean, it does hit. He's covered in the net now and also on the ground. Anything else on your turn?
he goes and says, "I thought you were supposed to be some great captain who slayed a whale, and you're afraid of a man?"
I'm not afraid of nothing, you blackguard heathen! Walk the plank, you scurvy dog! He starts kind of mumbling pirates things, something he seems to do when he gets defensive. That's gonna bring us to the top of the initiative, I think, which is, that would be Rivi.
Hey guys,
No.
still bleeding out here.
Yeah, Rivi, I need you to make me a death save.
Ah.
Oh, you have 1 failure. Like Callie, your foe is almost dead, but your ally is also dying.
Is nobody really gonna knock this guy out? Like, I guess I will.
Go ahead and attack. An 8 misses. Oh my God.
Okay, Tiger, be useful.
As we move on to Mochalatte vlog. Mochalatte Bonka.
Alright, so I'm hoping I'm more than 20 feet away now.
Yeah, you can be.
Alright, in that case, I'm going with the pounce move from the tiger.
Alright, yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage.
Alright, 1 second. Let's see. Hit with a claw attack, alright.
Alright.
Ooh.
Do you strike non-lethal or you just kill this dude?
Oh, well, I'm still much like a tiger, so let's just go ahead and kill him.
Alright, yeah, he's very dead. You watch as the tiger from the raft that's gone a little bit ahead of you jumps backwards and down on top of him, slashing and tearing apart this individual. They are certainly no more. And kind of Captain Bootleg cries out in victory, "Ha ha! Take that, you scum scoundrel!" Yeah, you've defeated this particular assassin.
Hey, I'm still bleeding out here.
And they're still bleeding out. I assume that with... I guess you could actually... it is your turn, Sir Gillem.
We really don't have anything to heal.
Yeah.
I guess you can try a medicine check.
Yeah, you can try a medicine check if you want.
Me.
I would say, like, after she got done attacking, Mochalatte will be dragging it back all the way to the float again.
Nope, I'm not good with
I
medicine.
mean, you can still stabilize me for free, I'm pretty sure, right?
so
Or do you have to use medicine check for that?
No, you need to make a check above 10, which brings us to your turn. Rivi, you need to not roll a critical 1 here to stay alive.
I'm not working on. Death save.
Hey, you're fine.
Oh,
Probably.
it rolled 3.
And then, like Callie, I assume you have something you can do here.
Like, get up.
Thank you.
You regain 8 points of health. You're feeling right as rain as you hop back onto the float. You kind of pull the body around Mocha, and the float sort of continues onwards down the street. As it does, you're getting kind of near the end of the you're getting kind of near the end of the parade route at this point, and Bootlick says, "You all did a right fine job on that one. You really made walk the plank." Something about swapping the poop deck, perhaps. But you really did a good job there, and I appreciate you keeping me alive. Well, as you can see, I'm a public figure, a hero. I'm Anemonen, one of the greatest around here. And, well, again...
Also lazy.
Lazy, what have ya? Some are lazy. It's a fool that makes his living working too hard. And you kind of continue on for a while. Great keeper of stories I am, you know. I know pretty much all the lore there is to know about this place. As you're kind of as you're arriving now in the space, and as you're moving into the central square, you can see most of the floats are here, and there's more and more tables with like a huge feast laid out, where a lot of the people that were operating and working the parade are hopping off of their floats, you know, continuing to play music and continuing to party, but also just like eating in the central square. You know, these huge long feast tables at its core.
I'm gonna like heal up with some alcohol.
Yes, you heal off with some liquid medicine, as it were.
I'm not sure that's how booze works.
I think it is. And yeah, you guys, it seems like you've like pretty much completed your mission here. As now all you have to do is just kind of like party with Bootleg for a little while as you're just chilling here at the end of the parade. But then something else happens. You begin to hear up above what sounds like a sudden whipping of wind, and you hear something. It's a little bit tough to see. It sounds like it's coming from beyond the balloons, and a lot of people are looking up at it, but you can't really see where it is because all of these balloons are just kind of blocking the sky. But you hear something that sounds like a heavy cranking of metal, sort of a... as you're down on the ground, and the kind of merriment and activity of the festival begins to halt to a degree as people are now looking up a little bit confused, although there are a lot that are also still there just kind of sipping ale. What do you all do?
Mochalatte will pretty much, as a tiger, use the keen smell ability to like smell the air, see what it might be coming.
Make me a perception check.
Alright, one moment. Let's see, advantage on wisdom. Yeah, one moment.
And what's everyone else doing at this time?
I'm going to do what all kobolds do well. Run hide.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check. 21.
Oh,
oh god.
what the...
You go and kind of stand over on like the big statue at the center of town, trying to pretend you're part of it, but you're not made of stone, so it's throwing off your stealth a bit. You just toss this house just tosses the trident upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just blindly throw the trident up and kind of crashes down. And as it does, you hit what looks like a balloon above, and it instantly plummets to the ground with what sounds like a resounding explosion. As you realize what you hit wasn't a balloon, but what it looks like a massive rock that comes crashing down into the center of the space, landing on all the feasting tables. You watch as several people that were at those tables just get obliterated and crushed by this rock. And this rock is attached to a massive, massive chain that seems to extend upwards into the balloon. And you hear from up above also what sounds like a... some kind of war cry. Some of the balloons have been parted by this. You can see a huge flying ship up in the sky above you.
Okay, does Mochalatte smell anything?
You smell... As you're kind of sniffing the air and taking in the space, you smell salt water. You smell something old. You smell poultry. As from up above, you begin to hear what sounds like a... As from out of the kind of top in the space, you see several You see several of what look like massive turkeys flying down from this ship that is now kind of raiding in the space. With that rock crashing down in the explosion, you can see all of these surrounding people have begun to kind of panic and flee. As these turkeys now descend from the ship, as they kind of crash down and land on the ground around you, you see that they are being ridden by some odd-looking individuals wearing kind of buckled black hats, of leather jerkins and vests, as well as carrying what look like very odd round-ended guns. And as these individuals kind of crash down onto the ground, they begin kind of surveying the scene casually and calmly. What do you all do?
Hey, you want some alcohol?
Captain Bootleg looks out at him and he goes, "Yeah, come have a drink." And then Captain Bootleg...
He knows how to party.
And then Captain Bootleg kind of pauses for a moment, and you see his eyes go wide, and he seems fixated on that rock that landed and dropped into this space like a massive anchor. He goes, Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock. And he kind of points at it. The Lord of Feasts has come. Plymouth Rock. They said this the day of judgment. It's the day of judgment. And Captain Bootleg begins to have a little bit of a freak out as these turkey-riding individuals, the turkeys, are just kind of surveying the space with their big muskets.
No, bro. Just like get a drink here.
And Captain Bootleg begins kind of taking off and kind of running in the opposite direction away from them, as you all begin to hear in your ears a voice. "Oh, adventurers, greetings! Can you hear me? Adventurers, come in!"
Whoa, Bartholomew!
Hey, Druid guy!
How's it going?
It seems that
Mochalatte makes a tiger growl.
It seems that there was some strange disturbance in your area. You're the only heroes that are currently on scene. Are we sending in reinforcements as soon as possible? Make sure that bootleg gets out of there safely. He needs to pay still. And then Bartholomew's voice just kind of cuts off, but it seems that there's something larger at play here. You watch as one of these individuals, one of them calls out to him, "Daniel, shall we begin the purge?" You see one individual riding a turkey says, "Yes. These people have gone on sinning for far too long."
I don't like the sound of that. I'm just gonna real quick do this.
And these turkey-riding pilgrims begin to charge. I'd like you all to roll initiative or anything else that you would like to do if you're not trying to
Before
engage.
combat, I'm gonna try to hide again.
I want to double check and say it has not been longer than an hour for
No, you're still in time. You're still a tiger. You're good.
Oh, I was gonna say we were gonna run. I was gonna run with the guy. Yeah.
Before combat, Rivi's gonna try to hide again.
And I also thought I threw another try.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in there. So we'll kind of go back and get through all of it. I actually didn't. Oh wait, I didn't see that you threw one. Did you throw one at one of the pilgrims?
Yeah.
Okay, great. In that case,
You didn't see the roll. It was an 18.
why did you have advantage?
Because of there's a reckless attack.
I don't think you can reckless attack a ranged attack.
No, it's a thrown attack.
Yeah, but that's still a ranged attack. I don't think you can.
Is it?
Yeah, on melee weapon attack rolls, it's not considered a melee attack if you're throwing it. It's a ranged weapon attack.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately the 7 misses as it flies. You watch as various of these turkeys, kind of turkey-mounted pilgrims, begin kind of flying about and spreading out in the space, as looks like they're just starting to like chase around and just open fire on people. They're knocking over Welcomestaking tables and just kind of causing chaos. They seem to be like destroying kegs of ale and like opening them and pouring them out. 2 of them that are in the space are still here, and they begin to kind of engage with you. The first to act in this initiative is... oh wait, I forgot to roll for them. Is Mochalatte.
Alright, Mochalatte still as a tiger.
Yep.
I want to confirm, can Mochalatte use Gnome as a tiger. This is a somatic thing that just affects her teeth or fang. Which Gnome is basically primal savagery.
Is it a spell?
It's a cantrip.
Well, it's you can't cast spells as a druid form.
tiger.
You can't do it until like level 18 or 20. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's correct. You can't cast spells as a tiger. So what do you want to do?
All right, I guess I'll use my bonus action to like. Well, actually, no, I'll stay as tiger as long as I can. So I will. How far are they from?
You can run and pounce if you want to. Go ahead and make your pounce.
Yes.
If you want to
All right. So yeah, that means I'll just have to hit with a claw attack. I'll have to bring it back up.
Make sure you're ready on deck. All right, so yeah, 20. I don't think you have advantage from this, do you? Or is that what the pounce does? Doesn't matter. The 19 hits anyway. So 6 points of slashing damage as you leap out in your tiger form, rip into one of these individuals. You going after the pilgrim rider or the turkey itself?
Oh, the turkey. It looks
all right. You begin carving the bird, as it were, and then bite into it for a total of 17 points of slashing damage. You hear as they do not seem to, in particularly like that. Turkey blood is scattered across the streets as this candy tiger pounces. That's going to bring us next in initiative to Gillem.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my shield and my longsword and begin to run with the guy to make sure that he's
Okay, yeah, you're just gonna like grab him under your arm and begin taking off and running.
Yes.
All right. You just begin booking it in the opposite direction with this individual under your arm. They're very heavy, but you're very strong, and you begin just turning down the street. That's all for your turn, I assume. You're moving a little slower than you normally would because you're carrying someone, but you're still getting your ally there to safety. That's going to bring us then to... I'm sorry, it shouldn't have been you next. It should have been Rivi next, but Rivi will go now.
So I'm still in the statue, so I'm just going to take out my bow and yeet at the guy.
All right.
I disadvantage cancels out, so I have this normal roll. I'm pretty sure, correct?
All right, yeah. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
With normal roll.
Yep, normal roll.
A natural 20.
Not an unnatural 20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that. You attacking
Take this fucker.
You attacking the turkey or the man?
The man.
The one that was attacked already?
Yeah.
Or the one that wasn't? The
that
turkey was attacked already, but
the man was already attacked.
Okay,
great.
I like to note that pounce does knock the target prone on a DC 13.
Okay. Remember that next time. The longbow flies and the longbow arrow strikes into the side of him. You see it catches him right in kind of the ribs area, which he kind of grits his teeth and begins kind of pointing his musket in your direction. That's anything else on your turn?
That's a big gun. He's going to hop off the statue and use it as full cover, if it's big enough. I'm assuming.
Yeah, you can. It'd be half,
behind it.
It'd be half cover. You can have to kind of because there's like legs and stuff that you're ducking behind. But it's definitely, or even go so far as to say 3/4 cover.
All right.
That's gonna bring us to Callie. Callie.
So, how many of them are there?
There's 2 of them in the space, but there's far, far more that are kind of flying off and beginning to siege the town. It looks like.
Well, I'm gonna go up to the 2 of them, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you, freeze!"
What's the range? 15-foot cone. Yeah, you can hit everything here. So we're gonna need to make 1 for each pilgrim, which both of them roll really well, and then 1 for each giant turkey.
Ooh. Which
don't do quite so well. You watch as the turkey that's already been pounced on, as you freeze, the fresh open wound seems to, the cold cuts through and into the body of the turkey, which falls down onto the ground. The pilgrim on him hops down nimbly next to, still musket in hand, as you finished off one of them. The other one has taken some damage. The 2 pilgrims.
That's for ruining all of my alcohol.
You watch now as it's their turn. They kind of turn and look at you, and we have done you a favor by ruining you in alcohol. It's poisoning you from the inside. They kind of levy their musket at you, and he says, "Not that you will remember that anyway."
My body, my choice.
He's going to make an attack against you with his musket. 7 misses, I assume.
And I didn't choose to get hit by that,
And the other one is going to make a musket attack against you with disadvantage. Actually, you know what? No, he's going to fire at the tiger. That's 12 points of piercing damage to you in tiger form. I assume that hits.
Yes, 17 does hit.
That's the one riding the turkey, and you watch as the turkey kind of gobbles and runs around the statue to go and get you. He's going to make a beak attack against you, which I assume misses with a 6.
Against who?
That was Rivi that he was attacking with that beak.
How is he just moving up to get me?
Yeah, he's just moving up to you.
I mean, I dodged it anyway, but I'm making sure I have cover.
Yeah, he misses. And that is going to be all for their turn. That's going to bring us to the top of the initiative. That was, I believe, Mocha. What do you want to do?
Okay, so I want to make sure that as a tiger, I have the tiger's hit points, correct?
Yep, you have the tiger's hit points. What's the action going to be?
First, okay, I have 25 left. Okay, so I'm gonna. How many of the pilgrims are?
There's 2 pilgrims remaining, and one of the turkeys is down.
I was gonna ask, which of the pilgrims are more than, or at least 20 feet away from me?
Neither.
Darn. Okay. In that case, Mochalatte will just, as a tiger, she'll probably run up at the nearest pilgrim and sink her teeth into its leg.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. You go to bite down, and as you do, the pilgrim kind of kicks you away, and your head is kind of thrown off, your jaw's unable to catch. Anything else on your turn?
Ooh, as a tiger, not really.
All right, that's going to bring us next in initiative. It should have been Rivi before, so we'll fix it now. Rivi, it's your turn. There's a pilgrim on a giant turkey bearing down on you.
So the turkey's a beast, right?
The turkey is a beast.
So I'm going to use my favorite enemy to recall some information about these turkeys.
Go ahead and make me a nature check. Oh, I unplugged my head.
Would that be okay? Nature. That makes sense.
I'll let you have advantage on it. All right, cool. 15. You've never seen a breed of turkey that's this large before, but from what you know about turkeys, they're not usually nearly this aggressive, and they usually travel in packs. They're usually smaller. So these are some crazy turkeys that you're up against here. You can tell that much. In terms of like weaknesses, they're not super strong flyers. They mostly kind of fall gracefully, or they can get quick bursts, but nothing too crazy.
Okay. So, I've now noticed that you are pretty fucking scary. So I would like to, get the fuck out of here! I'm going to, disengage.
Alright.
And, is there any, like, stalls nearby that I can just hop behind real quick?
Yeah, there's, like, buildings and stuff. You can just go run into a building.
I go around a building, take full cover behind one.
Alright, yeah, you hop into an open door.
I disengage, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get out of the fuck shit!
One person had run out of the building to run away and, like, out of the city, and you just, like, go and, like, as they're leaving their house, you just, like, duck into it and close the door. That's gonna bring us to the next initiative, which would be Sir Gillem. You just continue to run?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna ask him, what are you talking about, some Plymouth Rock? What is...
The Lord of Feasts. They say the Lord of Feast would come. Some of the prophets in town, occasionally people dressed like that, they come by doom-saying that the Lord of Feast would come to us for our sin. That he'd bring a rock as a harbinger, and it would be 1,000 years of purity. But, well, I didn't think that time would come.
Fucking Puritans.
And you continue to kind of like, you're just running down the street. Anything else you want to do as you're just taken off away with this guy?
I would be looking for like a door or something I can run into, or something I can maybe throw down behind me to slow them down.
The street is fairly open. The parade has stopped, so there's tons of stuff in the way. But also, you're seeing now in the distance, like, pilgrims riding these turkeys, like, hopping across rooftops in short, like, wing bursts as they jump. Like, there's a lot of, like, cover at ground level, but they're also moving on, like, a different plane than you, although they don't seem to be also pursuing you all that much. They look like they're just causing general chaos about the town. You seem relatively safe. You think you're going to be able to, I'll actually tell you now, you're probably going to be able to just make it out of the city this way. That was a strong choice to just grab them and run. Good idea.
Okay, then I'm going to continue.
All right, you continue. That's going to bring us then to Callie. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, it was Callie.
I'm gonna like go up to this guy who tried to shoot me and be like, you know, you need to loosen up a little bit. Here, let me touch you a little bit. Now I'm gonna
touch you a little.
Rough rolls tonight, unfortunately. This has been
like not over a 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like, that's sometimes fate does not work with you. You go to inflict wounds, and the barrel of the musket kind of pushes your hand aside as he knocks it away. Anything else on your turn?
Like, screw you, bro.
All right. On his turn, he is going to. You watch as he kind of pulls out of his bag a big, kind of a musket shell and puts it into the gun and begins very quickly trying to jam the musket ball down and reload his musket at point blank range. Which he does, but all he can do on this turn is reload, as does the other pilgrim also begin to reload, and the giant turkey is going to run over since you disengage, is going to go over and go after you, like Callie as well. 11, I assume misses?
Like, no way, bro.
Alright. That's going to bring us then to the top of the initiative, which is Mocha.
Okay, as before, is any of the pilgrims or turkeys at least 20 feet away?
They're all right
No,
next to
they're
us.
like all right in the pile.
Alright, where's the nearest water source?
There's alcohol spilled all over the ground, and then there's the ocean, but that's a ways away.
Okay, so I was asking more like for the actual ocean, but yeah, so that won't work. So yeah, I'm gonna just, I can move 40 feet, so, I want to try to get at least 20 feet away from one of the pilgrims, using the 40 feet.
Okay, that's going to provoke 2 opportunity attacks.
It's not like 3.
Oh yeah, actually, no, you're right, it's 3 opportunity attacks. So, the pilgrims on their turn, well, as you duck away, they are going to make attacks with their bayonets at this time. That's going to be that's a 20 and a the damage is wrong on that. I assume a 12 also hits.
12 meets the armor class for the tiger.
And then 10, oof. So that's a grand total of those 6s should both be +1, so that's 24 points of total damage that you take as you duck away.
Okay, so since I'm actually just moving, haven't really took an action yet, is it possible to use the dodge action?
No, not retroactively. That's when you have to do that before you get hit.
Okay. Alright, in that case,
Does that knock you out of tiger form? You still a tiger?
You said that how much was it?
24 total.
I still have 1 hit point left as a tiger.
Alright, so yeah, you duck away as a tiger, and then you're gonna pounce back in?
Yep, I'm
go ahead and make
go in and go out and
go ahead and make an attack roll.
Alright, if it hits,
Yep, they have to make a save.
Yeah, it's DC 13 strength, so 1 second.
That definitely hits.
Alright,
Attacking the pilgrim, I assume?
Yes, at least one of them.
Alright.
Okay, the pilgrim is not prone, and then I'm gonna bite it.
Alright, you have advantage on the bite because he's prone. You can fish for a crit if you want. But 4 points of damage and then 5 points of damage. Actually, that's enough to finish this dude off. As you jump down on top of him and tear in with the claws and bite this individual, you hear him kind of scream out, "Lord Grim will come for you!" And he's gone. All that remains is 1 pilgrim on 1 turkey as we move next in initiative to Rivi. What do you want to do?
So Rivi kind of builds up courage. He takes a deep breath. He kicks open the door and I'm going to stop your bullshittery.
So you're gonna run out and get. You're not close enough to grovel to be within 10 feet. Do you want to run over to where they are?
Shoot him then.
You can get out and do that.
I'm just gonna shoot him.
Okay. 17 definitely hits damage. Oh wait, was that the person or the turkey?
The turkey.
Is the correct sound to make then, as you strike it with an arrow.
And then you're just going to immediately freaking close the door.
The turkey is also almost downed at this point from the cold damage from before.
Like he opens the door, fires an arrow, and closes it again.
Oh wait, no, that's actually that is enough to finish it off with the cold damage from before. As the arrow strikes through, and that turkey falls. 1 pilgrim remains as we move on to your turn, Callie. And we'll come back to you in a second, Sir Gillem, as you're running away.
Does he fall on the ground?
Oh yeah, he collapses on the ground as the turkey falls. Yeah.
Okay, big boy, you're gonna
show me that
be asleep.
Above a 2. Yeah, roll damage on that.
It's sleepy time.
If by sleep you mean eternal sleep, as you reach down and drain what little life this individual has left. Or I'm sorry, you don't drain life, you inflict wounds. You watch as cuts and bruises and scrapes appear all over his body, and he breathes his last as all foes before you are defeated.
Now I'm gonna get on the ground, start drinking the alcohol.
Alright, you continue to
Because
drink.
I need it.
And the 3 of you in the square, for the 3 of you, you have achieved victory and you are able to kind of escape or go around helping out the people.
I did!
Whatever it is that you decide to do.
Mochalatte is pretty much going to try to find Sir Gillem Fish and follow.
I'm gonna save the alcohol.
Rivi's gonna try to help people, but he's not really that good at it.
Yes, you go around as best you can.
Best Rivi can's very badly.
Sir Gillem, I would like you to make me an athletics check with advantage.
Sure. Give me one.
No problem.
There you go.
Oh my god. Yeah, Sir Gillem, you're bounding effortlessly amongst the remaining floats. And doing just a very good job of getting him out of the space. There's a couple of times various turkeyed pilgrims fly up and into your path, but you duck agilely down kind of half aisles, or not agilely, just powerfully down these different side alleys and work your way out of the city to a little bit of a hill that rests beyond it eventually sometime later. Bootleg kind of looks over at you. I owe you my life, and for that I think I know we had our problems to start. And he offers you his hand.
Awesome, I take his hand.
All right. You kind of grasp hands in a shake, but you see, as this adventure ends in the distance, what looks like Buckler's Bay begins to burn as these individuals around this space, the invaders, are tearing apart the city. And high above the massive ship, its rock-like anchor still kind of weighing it and tethering it to the space of Buckler's Bay, looms threateningly. And with that, this adventure comes to a close. You've all been successful in saving Captain Bootleg, meaning you've each gained 1 point of experience and 100 Bartholomew bucks. Congratulations, everyone.
And we all get to eat turkey.
And you all eat quite a bit of turkey and
Alcohol.
alcohol.